Hello dear viewers on Royal Television, we apologize for the late start. You're welcome to the weekender edition of News Hour, equally the last edition for the month of February 2026. We open this newscast with our headlines. The rich cultural identity and diversity of the Southwest region is being showcased at the ongoing Southwest Cultural Festival taking place at the Boya Independence Square. Out of Cameroon, authorities in Nigeria have launched an official investigation into the reported death of the son of celebrated Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And in sports, and in Yaoundé, Cameroon, what was expected to be a celebratory curtain raiser for the Cameroonian football season at the Super Cup ended in controversy and chaos on Thursday, February 26, 2026. Discover these stories and more on this newscast. You're welcome back to News Hour on Royal Television. My name is Frida Lena for presentation. We open this newscast with this story where the Southwest Cultural Festival themed showcasing cultural identity of the Southwest people, consolidating peace and promoting entrepreneurial consciousness has effectively kicked off in the chief town of the Southwest region, Boya. The Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, was represented by the Minister of Arts and Culture, Minister Bidung Pat, at the opening session of the festival. Sharon Tita was there. She brought back the following reports.
The curtains open in the Southwest Cultural Festival in Boya, the picturesque chief town of the Southwest region, with a burst of energy and color. Representing the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, Minister Bidung Kwat, Minister of Arts and Culture, graced the occasion, emphasizing the festival's goal, showcasing the Southwest's rich cultural heritage and promoting unity. The festival's theme, showcasing cultural identity of the Southwest people, consolidating peace and promoting entrepreneurial consciousness, brought together captivating dance groups from all 6 divisions, weaving a tapestry of tradition and diversity. As Minister Bidung Kwat highlighted, this event is a unique opportunity for the community to converge, preserve cultural values, and foster social cohesion.
Is a creative heart, living here, deep and see, and the entire Southwest creative moments for human beings, communities, and enhancing living well and social cohesion in the land of the channels of God, where wheat is at the foot of its adjectives and rule, and the housing garden of our ancestors called Mama and Eni.
The people of the Southwest region are warmly invited to immerse themselves in the richness of their heritage, and everyone is welcome to join the celebration.
Well, we're very happy that the chiefs have taken the initiative to organize this cultural festival yearly. That of last year took place and it went well. The one of this year too has started, and from all indications we can see that the people of the Southwest in general have turned out massively to take part in this cultural festival. Today was just the opening. It continues tomorrow and even on Sunday. I just want to use this opportunity to call on the people of Southwest, especially those who were not aware maybe for one reason or the other, to make sure that they try to show up and be part of this very, very memorable celebration of our culture.
The significance is always there. The first thing is to bring Southwest children together. The next thing is to make them recognize and and institute and be proud of their culture, and all bringing them together and teaching them their culture gets them unified. A unified people is a strong people. When people are unified, they are strong. And when they are strong, they can go places and they can do a lot of things. This region, we were born here. We didn't ask to be born here. So we have no choice but to do the best to make it grow and to make it strong. Of course, we are not excluding the other people who came in, because we are open to all Cameroonians and even foreigners who come to live with us. They are part of us, and the culture embraces every one of them. Well, I'm asking the population to accept this effort that the chiefs have made to take advantage of all the papers, because we are going now, some papers will be presented of all the papers and all the advice that the chiefs will give, and to support the chiefs in the drive for unity and peace. It's open for everybody. You will see from the dance groups that we will have people from the north. Last year, if you were there, we had people from the north, we had people from the west. It's open for all residents, and even those who want to grace our event by coming from out of the southwest and even out of Cameroon. It's open, it's a public event, and we as Southwesterners will be happy to have non-residents, people who are not staying here, coming to join us. In fact, last year we had a group that had to come from the south. They had to come from the south when they heard about it. I think for some reason they couldn't come again. Just one came, but there were about two that were supposed to come. So we are open to everyone. There's no limit.
Tomorrow promises more vibrant performances, cultural displays, and unforgettable moments.
Sharon Sita ending that report. On to other news. More than 150 women in Great Support Buea have benefited from a community support initiative aimed at ensuring inclusive participation in upcoming Women's Day activities. The outreach, led by Suleiman Wawapenda, combined humanitarian assistance with a celebration of culture and unity. Nanga Sonia was at the event. She brought back the following report.
The atmosphere at the Great Support traditional wrestling field was festive as women from across the community gathered for what turned into both a distribution exercise and a cultural showcase. Packages of food items and commemorative Women's Day fabrics were handed to beneficiaries, many of whom expressed relief and appreciation for the gesture ahead of International Women's Day. Speaking to the crowd, the organizer said the initiative was motivated by concerns that some mothers might be left out of the annual celebration.
I thought it wise that I should come and celebrate with my mothers and the young women of this village in preparation to the upcoming International Women's Day, and also in line with the speech of the head of state this year that says that women and the youth should be prioritized because this is their year, this is their mandate. I thought it wise that I should come as a son of the village to bring out my moms and my sisters that have not had opportunities to celebrate this year in that grand style. So I took upon myself to buy a few items and the fabrics to give my mothers in the village to celebrate the International Women's Day.
Residents, estimated at over 500, turned out to witness the ceremony, offering applause and words of encouragement. Community elder Mula Matanga joined the women in invoking blessings and calling for sustained solidarity within Great Support.
God will bless this begin. The ancestors they will bless you. Any small thing where you want to do for life, even if you plant a corn, one icon will burn like a 100 icon.
The event was punctuated by vibrant performances from various dance groups. Traditional rhythms echoed across the field as performers entertained the audience, transforming the outreach into a lively pre-Women's Day celebration. For many recipients, the support represents more than material assistance. It symbolizes recognition and inclusion. Organizers say the initiative is part of a broader vision to strengthen bonds within the community and encourage collective development efforts. The ceremony ended in song and dance as calls for unity and community progress took center stage in great support.
Nanga Sonia ending that report. Tradition has been spotlighted in the Ndé division of the West region of Cameroon. This was during the 4th edition of the Dimankou, a festival organized to showcase the importance of wood. The major cultural event unfolded under the patronage of the Minister of Arts and Culture alongside traditional authorities and locals of Ndé. Nathalie Njuma tells us more in the following report.
Bundles of wood, securely balanced on the heads and sometimes carried on soldiers, were showcased by men, women, members of traditional associations as well as children before their king, His Majesty Ngumeni Apigai Elvis Ndé. This symbolic traditional gesture took place during the 4th edition of the Dimankou festival, known as the Day of Wood, celebrated annually to highlight the importance of wood to the Ndé people. The event took place at the esplanade of the Mbalengu traditional chiefdom under the patronage of the Ministry of Arts and Culture. The ceremony drew an impressive crowd who came to reaffirm their commitment to the ancestral values of the West region. It is worth noting that in the grassfields tradition, the chief embodies both temporal and spiritual power. Wood then becomes a symbol of the king's upkeep and of strengthening the sacred bond between the people and their sovereign. Digital innovation, cultural review, documentary, youth mobilization. The organizing committee embraces modernization while remaining true to the essence of tradition, as transmission is at the heart of Dimankou. Through this 4th edition of the Dimankou Cultural Festival, Balengu demonstrates that tradition and modernity can forge ahead sons and daughters of Ndé as one. Like the trees whose strength it celebrates, the Mbalengu people remain firmly rooted to better project themselves into the future. This celebration confirms the Mbalengu people's attachment to their cultural heritage, their traditional authority embodied by His Majesty Ngumeni Elvis. Meantime, the Dimankou Festival has been prioritized as an essential event for promoting traditions in the town of Ndé in the West region of Cameroon.
A Switzerland online application, DAU, has appointed Komi Musa as its ambassador for Cameroon. The voluntary opportunity will, in the days ahead, see her champion media engagement campaigns as well as reiterate community conversations on women's health. Honorin Cheng in the upcoming report says the platform will help women make informed decisions and choices on their well-being through hands-on resources, especially online. Follow us.
Dear Foundation Switzerland has appointed Komi Musa as DAU Ambassador for Cameroon. The Global Women's Health Network seeks to create awareness on underreported events as well as spark conversations that help women make informed decisions on their well-being through hands-on resources. The DAU application understands that health starts with you and it's free, simple, culturally grounded and available in multiple languages. According to Comfort Musa, this volunteer role is another chance to keep doing what I care most, creating safe, informed spaces where women can access clear, trustworthy health information in ways that respect our culture, our realities, and our dignity. In the days and months ahead, it is hoped Comfort Musa, Executive Director of women-focused platform Sister Speak 237, will accentuate the DAU campaign in Cameroon through media engagement, participation in public events, as well as facilitate community conversations. Given that women's health is more than just medicine, the mobile application is all about autonomy, community, and it's about every woman knowing she deserves quality answers, all the support and constant care.
Honoring Cheng, ending that report. Out of Cameroon, authorities in Nigeria have launched an official investigation into the reported death of the son of celebrated Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Details surrounding the incident remain unclear as officials say efforts are underway to determine the circumstances and establish the facts. Plus, Ghana's cocoa sector is facing mounting pressure as licensed buyers reportedly owe local banks up to $750 million, raising fresh concerns over financing, farmers' payments, and the stability of one of the country's most vital export industries. Nanga Sonia has our foreign page.
The Lagos coroner has initiated proceedings for an inquiry into the death of acclaimed Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's toddler son, who died on 7 January at a Eurocare hospital. The author and her husband accused the hospital of medical negligence. Kanu Nnamdi Ezeke was just 21 months old when he died in early January after a worsening illness at a Eurocare hospital. The toddler had been set to be transferred to the US for medical treatment, but had undergone pre-flight procedures, including an MRI and a spinal tap at a Eurocare hospital. His mother, acclaimed novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and her husband, Dr. Ivara Esege, subsequently accused the hospital of medical negligence. The hospital denied any wrongdoings on its part. Now, a formal inquiry has been opened into the little boy's death. Proceedings are scheduled to start on April 14. During a preliminary court sitting on Wednesday, which led to a confirmation of a full hearing, counsel for the family maintained that the child's death had been unnatural and that it had resulted from medical intervention. Kanu Nnamdi Ezeke was one of 2 twin boys born to the 48-year-old novelist and her husband by surrogacy. Ngozi Adichie is also mother of a girl born in 2016. Ghana's licensed cocoa buyers are staggering under up to $750 million in debt to banks, the Licensed Cocoa Buyers Association revealed. Association President Samuel Adimado told Reuters buyers owe banks 7 to 8 billion cedis, approximately $650 to $670 million, and farmers an additional $205 to $234 million, with interest piling up. Buyers have delivered 580 tons of beans this season, but await full payment, while another 70,000 tons remain in field. The crisis follows 2 poor harvests from disease and bad weather, plus a sharp global price plunge from $12,000 per ton in 2024 to roughly $4,000 now. Finance Minister Cassiel Atofossen announced a nearly 30% farm gate price cut to $3,580 per ton, aligning with international markets to inject immediate liquidity. The government will seek parliamentary approval to extend cocoa board debt repayment and reform financing through local debt markets, ensuring farmers receive at least 70% of export prices. The cocoa sector supports 1 million livelihoods. At least 7,667 people died or went missing on migration routes globally in 2025, the UN Migration Agency has said, warning the true toll is likely higher and calling the ongoing losses a global failure. The Mediterranean Sea crossing from Africa to Europe claimed at least 2,108 lives in 2025, while another 1,047 died or vanished attempting to reach Spain's Canary Islands, according to data. The first 2 months of 2026 have already seen an unprecedented number of migrant deaths, with 606 recorded dead on the Mediterranean crossing as of Tuesday. Underreported Crisis Director General Army Pope say these deaths are not inevitable, urging safer legal routes. Funding cuts to aid groups, crackdowns on humanitarian NGOs, and limited data access are hampering accurate tracking. The remains of 23 people washed up on southern Italian and Libyan coast in the past 2 weeks alone, with hundreds more missing at the sea that cannot yet be verified. Decline in America's crossing. The global decrease from 2024's 9,200 deaths partly reflects fewer attempts on dangerous routes, particularly the US-Mexico border and Darien jungle, where IOM recorded the fewest deaths, 409, since 2014.
We now talk sports on this newscast, where Yaoundé here in Cameroon, what was expected to be a celebratory curtain raiser for the Cameroonian football season as the Super Cup ended in controversy and chaos on Thursday, the 26th of February 2026, in a dramatic and unprecedented scene at the Stade Militaire de Ngwaikele. Colombe Sportive of South walked off the field against Panthère Sportive of Ndé in protest of a disputed refereeing decision, leaving the match abandoned and football authorities to decide the outcome. Details with Kusona Claudia Voma.
The 2026 Super Cup, traditionally contested between the MTN Elite 1 champions and Cameroon Cup winners, began with promise and intensity. Colombe Sportifs du Sud entering the fixture as league champions, showing early dominance and opened the scoring, setting the tone in what was expected to be a high-quality showdown. However, tensions escalated shortly after the hour marked when the referee awarded a penalty to Panthère Sportive Ndé following a challenge inside the box. The decision immediately sparked protests from Colombe players and technical staff who strongly disputed the call. Panthère converted the penalty to level the score to 1-1. In an unprecedented turn of events, Colombe's players, after prolonged protest, walk off the pitch with roughly 20 minutes remaining. Despite efforts to restore calm, the match could not resume and the referee brought the game to an early end. The incident has now shifted focus to the Cameroonian Football Federation's disciplinary body, which are expected to determine whether the result will stand, whether the match will be replayed, or whether sanctions will be imposed. The dramatic scene has divided opinion among supporters. Interestingly, even some Colombe fans have criticized the team's actions. One supporter at the stadium expressed disappointment, stating,
vu qu'on les sanctionne, parce que ça, c'est avoué qu'on est faible devant la Panthère et devant les arbitres, alors qu'on n'était pas faible. On a vu le jeu de la Colombe, on n'a pas été faible, on a manqué du bon jeu. Et si David, on sanctionne la Colombe, on sanctionne le staff, on sanctionne les joueurs qui sont sortis du stade. Vous savez, quand vous partez, vous couchez, vous riez. Le football, c'est le vrai bébé. Est-ce que le football, c'est le vrai bébé? Tu joues. On te gagne, tapis vert, tu gagnes sur le terrain. C'est tout. Quand l'Afrique vous sanctionne les équipes, comme le Sénégal a fait à la CAN, c'est devenu le challenge. Dès qu'on sanctionne un peu une équipe, on sort du terrain, on ne joue plus. Parce que le Sénégal avait aussi fait la CAN. Sortez avant qu'on ne tire les pénalty. Sinon, vous acceptez qu'on tire les pénalty, continuez à jouer.
The comments reflect a broader debate among fans about professionalism, respect for officiating decisions, and the image of Cameroonian football on the national stage. With the Super Cup left unresolved on the field, attention now turns to the Federation's official ruling. Beyond the immediate decision, the controversy raises deeper questions about officiating standards, conflict management, and accountability within the domestic game. What should have been a celebration of football excellence has instead become one of the most talked about incidents of the season's opening chapter.
Dear viewers, the sports report by Kusona Claudia Voma brings us to the weekender edition and the last edition of News Hour for the month of February 2026. Before we leave you, let's check our top stories, where the rich cultural identity and diversity of the Southwest region is being showcased at the ongoing Southwest Cultural Festival taking place at the Boya Independence Square. And out of Cameroon, we told you that authorities in Nigeria have launched an official investigation into the reported death of the son of celebrated Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And in sports, in Yaoundé here in Cameroon, what is expected to be a celebratory curtain raiser for the Cameroonian football season at the Super Cup ended in controversy and chaos on Thursday, the 26th of February 2026. You discovered why in this newscast. We are asking you to stay tuned to more interesting programs on Royal Television. Asking you again to have a lovely weekend in the company of our weekend programs on Royal TV. News Hour was produced technically by David Titango and presented by me, Frida Leinavoma. Have a lovely weekend and bye-bye.